Hey there, all you 40K fanatics. Welcome back to the grim darkness of the far future with me, Casey, back in the grim dark garage. So, unfortunately, I've been absent for a little while because Nurgle has blessed me with his disgusting gifts, and I unfortunately have a nasal drift. So, if I sound a little bit different today, that's probably why. But today, I want to wish you guys a happy Independence Day for all of you in these states who have been listening to us for so long. I hope you had a happy 4th of July. Without any further delay, let's get into it. Perfect ecstasy, boundless cacophony, excessive agony. I must have more. The Emperor's Children, a fallen traitor faction of Space Marine known formerly as the Third Legion, have since become a fallen Chaos Space Marine Legion led by their primarch Fulgrim, and now has split into war bands of aspiring champions of Slanesh that vie for prideful decadence and glory to their god, Slanesh. Although it didn't start out this way. Formally, the Third Legion started out as humble beginnings, the Emperor overthrowing people in the Unification Wars. When he took over Europa, the nobility and aristocracy were forced or willingly gave him their sons, and he would take them and eventually make them space marines. These children would be called the Emperor's Children in hushed rumors and whispers in the dark, not fully getting their name until they set themselves up for glory by saving the Emperor himself. One day during a compliance, the Emperor's Children, being their bold, artful, and dutiful sons of the Emperor and the Imperium, would go on to defend the Emperor after he was grievously wounded during an insurrectionist attack during a compliance ceremony. Suffering heavy casualties and making a name for themselves, the Third Legion would then gain the honor of wearing the Imperial Aquila, the symbol of the Emperor, on the breast of their armor from that day forward. Eventually, tragedy would strike, and their gene stocks would be destroyed or stolen or go missing. No one is really clear on what happened there, but most of their gene stores were destroyed. Then, their gene stock, as well as their space marines, would be affected by a gene plague that had been known to be caused by Xenos origin. No one really knew exactly where or how it started, but it gave the legionaries super cancer and they didn't live very long. They died, their bodies filled with tumors, and they died much faster than they were supposed to. The Emperor and his gene smiths tried to keep the Third Legion alive as best they could, but they could only sustain the Legion with the progenitor glands of the fallen, and unfortunately, it wasn't doing very much. Luckily, that would be when their Primarch, Fulgrim, would be found, who immediately pledged his loyalty to his 200 sons and the Emperor, his father. The Third Legion would, from that day forward, be known as the Emperor's Children. Striving for greatness in combat, they would even strive for perfection in comparison to their brother legions. They would compete with them to bring worlds into compliance, trying their best to beat the compliance rates or bring worlds together diplomatically as long as it was faster or better than other legions. This competitiveness went from seeking glory and fame and friendly competition to a compulsion for betterness and trying to set themselves up as perfect. They strove for perfection in all things, would lead them to depravity and chaos worship eventually. Following their Primarch in his downfall, they would go on to master things like sonic weapons, mastery in things like combat, culture, and arts, went on to hedonistic beliefs in painful suffering, drug use to improve combat prowess, and decadence in just about anything they could see. By the end of it all, during the Horus Heresy, they were little more than madmen who could barely follow an order and splintered into multiple groups. They couldn't follow orders. They were more obsessed with making themselves feel good with combat drugs or making everybody else hurt or feel worse to praise their god Slanesh, that ultimately it caused the loss of the Horus heresy in some way, shape, or form. Nowadays, the Third Legion, led by their Primarch Fulgrim, who is now a demon prince of Slanesh, is a splintered faction of different warbands spread out throughout the warp, led by different chaos champions and aspiring leaders who try to strive for pride and perfection in not only their legion, but also to their chaos god that they worship, also known as Slanesh. Slanesh grants them gifts and makes them, well, pretty much a force to be reckoned with on a good day. Sonic weaponry, voice boxes, and giant bolt gun guitar combos. The Noise Marines of the Third Legion are forces to be reckoned with and iconic for this faction as well. So, that's the Third Legion, the Emperor's Children. Let me know in the comments if I got anything wrong. I look forward to hearing from you guys. I really appreciate all the support that you give me. Go check us out on our podcast. Like and subscribe on the YouTube channel. We're on Apple. We're on iHeartRadio. We're on Spotify. I appreciate all the love you guys give me. Follow us on Twitter. Check out the TikTok. Just spread the love, guys. But that's it. It's me, Casey, saying see ya from the grim darkness of my garage. Bye.